Alright, so I just wanted to do a quick video giving some props to young Nico Hernandez of the United States of America, the American representative for the light flyweight division. Has had an excellent Olympic game so far, and with his win yesterday um, over Carlos Oquipo, managed to become the first male Olympic boxer since Deontay Wilder back in 2008 to be guaranteed a medal. So basically, right now he's in the semifinals. He's managed to get all the way to the semifinals. His next opponent is going to be Hasanboy Duzmatov of Uzbekistan, and then should he win that fight, he'll go on to the final match in order to fight for the gold against the winner of a bout between Ioannis Argilagos of Cuba and Yerbergen Martinez of Colombia. Two very, very good fighters, two very disparate styles as well. Duzmatov is a completely different style than either of them as well, so we could see a lot of variability depending on how his next fight goes. But he's already fought a couple of different types of styles already. The first round, the round of 32, he fought and defeated Manuel Capai of Italy. Cleanly outboxed him, did a good job with the timing and everything. Was able to beat him up a little bit on the inside as well. And I thought he did just a clean, good job. I thought he won every round of that fight. Capai was a game opponent, however. A very tough opponent, landed some good shots as well. But I thought Hernandez managed to control the tempo, control the timing, and he won with just good, clean technical boxing. Against Vasily Yegorov in the second round, Yegorov was actually one of the guys favored to win a medal. He was the number 2 seed in these Olympic Games because of the fact that he was the silver medalist for the 2015 AIBA World Championships. So he was one of the real favorites to win a medal. Very, very quick guy. Very quick hands, very quick feet, a southpaw, just, fast all the way around. But once again, Hernandez showed that just, technical skill and timing especially. The timing can often beat speed. If you have the timing down on a guy, sometimes it doesn't matter how fast he is. Although, Hernandez is no slouch himself in the speed department, and he has some good pop on his shots as well. So if he hits you, you're definitely going to be feeling it. And I think Yegorov was, especially because you could see after about a minute and a half into the first round, his mouth was already bleeding. So he must have caught him with a good stray shot. And who knows, maybe Yegorov wasn't biting down on his mouthpiece the way he should have been. But he wound up, I guess, getting a cut in his mouth, and that kind of flowed throughout the full 3 rounds. Yegorov landed some good shots as well. Of course, he's a tough opponent. He's not somebody that's going to go down lying down. Landed some quick, sharp shots himself. But overall, Hernandez, it just seemed he was able to kind of outmuscle Yegorov, and just outskill him, out technique him, out time him. Basically, was the thing that ruled the day there. His third fight wound up being his toughest one, however, in the quarterfinals against Carlos Quipo of Ecuador. Carlos Quipo, more of an inside type fighter, a guy that closed the distance on Hernandez early, tried to rough him up. It looked like he got a lead. I think it was on 2 of the judges' scorecards. He won the first round. And then Hernandez wound up having to tie it up in the second round. It was all tied up on all 3 judges' scorecards after 2 rounds. So the third round meant a big, big deal. And it seemed like Hernandez's overall sharpness and his better stamina base is kind of what pulled him through in the third and final round against Quipo. Quipo was a very tough, very game opponent, however. He's a guy that had some excellent fights going into the fight with Hernandez as well. Very good performances from Quipo. He was looking like he was going to be potentially a problem for the medal rounds as well. But Hernandez basically became the guy that stood in his way of making it there. And so he's the first bona fide guaranteed medalist for the men's divisions since 2008, of course. Back in 2012, Clarissa Shields for the women got a middleweight gold, and Marlon Esparza got a flyweight bronze for the female divisions back in 2012. And Clarissa Shields is actually expected to win gold again this year for the women's middleweights. And then Michaela Meyer is a potential threat for a medal for the women's lightweights. But the women's lightweights, the women's divisions as a whole actually haven't even started yet. We're barely kind of getting into all the other men's divisions like bantamweight and flyweight now here at the end of the week. But by the 15th, so basically a few days from now, basically the light flyweight division will pretty much be all cleaned up. Friday is when they have the semifinal fights, and then the very final bout, the gold medal bout, is going to be on Sunday, which is solid. Just a tough, strong week, 8 days essentially of boxing for the light flyweights. Nico Hernandez has come through big for the United States. Who knows? Maybe he'll be able to be like another Michael Carbajal or another Paul Gonzalez. Two guys that have won medals at the lightest division for the Olympics in the past. Gonzalez back in '84, Carbajal back in '88. Of course, Carbajal became a much bigger star in television than Gonzalez. Gonzalez, most of his success was in the amateurs. He had a little bit of pro success, but Carbajal truly became a crossover star in a way that Gonzalez wasn't quite able to get to. But I think Hernandez is right in there. He's looking like he's going to have a very bright future after these Olympic Games, regardless of whether he wins or loses. Personally, I'm thinking that he'll be able to defeat Duzmatov. I think he's just a little bit classier than Duzmatov, just overall all-around skill and strength as well. I think the tough fight is going to be between the winner of Joannis Aguilagos and Yerbergen Martinez. Martinez actually has a win over Hernandez pretty recently too. In the qualifiers for these Olympics, Martinez actually defeated Hernandez. I think it was in the finals of the qualifiers. So I mean, Martinez has proven to be a tough fighter. Every fight that I've seen him in so far in these Olympics, he's just completely dogged guys. And matter of fact, I think so far Martinez's 2 fights that he's had in these Olympics, or the three fights that he's had in these Olympics rather, has been probably the best fights in the Olympics. Like, Martinez is consistently a guy that'll bring it to you and bring absolute warfare. He had his most recent bout was against Samuel Carmona Heredia of Spain, and Carmona Heredia of Spain even is another guy that knocked off one of the potential medal favorites in Paddy Barnes of Ireland. Beat him in a just an absolute war, and then Heredia and Martinez went to war with each other. And I think by far, Heredia versus Martinez has been the best fight of the entire Olympics so far. It's just an all-out, brutal fight from the very opening bell. They just met at Ring Center and just hashed it out. You don't even necessarily have to be a boxing fan in order to be able to enjoy what those guys did in there. Technical boxing, but with absolute brutality and just at such a fast pace that that you couldn't imagine the guys going 12. So in that sense, it was probably good that it was 3, or maybe just because of the fact that it was 3, they felt more willing to be able to go all out the way that they did. But that's Martinez. Joannis Aguilagos of Cuba has more of an outboxer style, a bit more of an agile pot shotting outside style. Tries to try to pot shot you more from the outside. He's tall for the weight class. He's about 5'5", so he's right about the same height as Hernandez, but a few inches taller than Martinez. So Martinez is going to be looking to close the distance on him and rough him up. Aguilagos is going to be looking to try and keep distance on Martinez and be able to land just the cleaner, more eye-catching shots in order to win the rounds. But I think that's going to be an excellent fight, and I think whoever wins between that fight is going to be an extremely tough out for Hernandez should he manage to get to the finals, or for Duzmatov if he manages to actually defeat Hernandez and stop his nice little run that he's gone on so far for these Olympics. But that's just my little quick recap for and giving Hernandez props for managing to get rid of the drought, the medal drought for the U.S. And honestly, I got to say too that the light flyweight division to me has been the most exciting of the divisions so far. Just constant, excellent fights. For the most part, very evenly matched fights. The way that everybody drew against each other in the tournament tree, in the bracket, was very, very well done. Like I said, all of Martinez's fights have been excellent. The Heredia versus Martinez fight was excellent. The Heredia versus Paddy Barnes fight was excellent. Nico Hernandez versus Kipo was a great fight. as was Hernandez's previous fight with Vasily Yegorov, another very good fight. Kipo's first fight was a very good one too. I mean, pretty much you really can't find many, I guess what you may call stinkers in the preliminaries or the round of 16 for the light flyweights. It's been just solid fights all the way around. Um, but that's pretty much it for my quick little recap of Hernandez and the light flyweight division as a whole. I'm going to definitely be doing a recap for when the medal rounds conclude, when the semifinals and the finals both, because I definitely want to give proper attention to the medalists, especially because they deserve as much props as they can garner for what they do. A lot of these guys, yeah, they may get good money for sponsors, either before, during, or after these Olympics, whether it's from their country's athletic commission or whoever their main sponsor of their national team, or just third-party corporate sponsors, or if they happen to go pro, of course there's some big signing bonuses for some of these guys. But regardless of all that, all that stuff isn't always necessarily guaranteed, and it's always good to be able to give props where they're really deserved. And I think that these guys definitely have worked for it and earned it. So I'm very anxious to see the first of the medal bouts for these Olympics. And I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. And I'll catch you guys when I do the recaps and reviews. So catch you guys then. Peace.